Hello, I'm Joss Peach.
And I'm Poppy Peach.
And we are two first-class idiots with an unhealthy obsession with cabbage.
And this is the Cabbage Chronicles.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it the cabbage? Is it the cabbage? What's that coming over the hill? Oh, you just got cabbage, motherfucker!
Hello, it's us.
Hello.
Hello. We are back with another episode of the Cabbage Chronicles.
Uh-huh.
And on the last episode, we talked about things that you did to my bedroom.
Yes, we did. Yes. Happy memories.
Happy memories.
Apart from the ones that didn't go so well for me. But
yeah. That was actually quite a good episode for me. I quite enjoyed that. But I'm going to enjoy this one even more because today we are talking about things that I have done to your bedroom.
Yeah, seems fair.
It's only fair. I couldn't let him get away with it without retaliating. And we do have a fail in here as well. So, you know, we've got a healthy dose because not everything in life goes the way you want it to. And we feel the need to represent that on this podcast as well.
Yes, we do. So, what would you like to kick off with, Poppy?
Well, first up is the first thing that I did to your bedroom.
Yes.
Which was, I'm actually very pleased with this one. And it turns out the other day we were chatting about it and he'd actually forgotten about it. So I could have actually done it again and got a point. What I did was I got loads of little bits of cabbage and I put them in all the pockets of all your clothes.
Yeah.
And I did it on quite a few different items, so you were finding it for a while.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's like, time to get the summer shorts out of their little sort of cupboard where they all live, wrapped up in a bag. Yeah. Oh, what's this in the pockets? So that did keep giving me cabbage in the pockets for some considerable time. So
I was pretty pleased with that one. I think that was strong.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The next one is another one that I think was pretty good. Was my dad was ill, and when he is ill and he has a sore throat, he likes throat sweets that are called Fisherman's Friends.
God, this one.
I think these are terrible sweets.
I think I might need to take on the story from here based on my experience. Yes. So I was quite ill.
Yeah, you might have even had COVID.
I had quite a heavy cold. Yeah. But it was a flu-y cold, and I was really not great. And I woke up one night at 2 a.m. with my throat really, really painful and feeling really sort of coughy. So I reached onto the bedside table for my trusty bag of Fisherman's Friends. Yeah. And in my sort of half asleep, it's completely dark state, where I was just sort of feeling my way, sort of put my finger into the opening, and it felt a little bit kind of melty or damp or moist or something. And because I was half asleep, I was like, what? Let me check that it is the Fisherman's Friend. So I picked the bag up and smelt it, and it's like, it really smells of Fisherman's Friends.
Yeah, they smell really strong.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I know I've got the right thing here. The only explanation in that moment in my mind was that because the bag had been open for some time, that perhaps some moisture had got in and they'd all just somehow dissolved into a mush.
Yes.
However, that wasn't quite what had happened.
No, it wasn't. It was quite soon after I had discovered the wonders of sauerkraut.
Oh.
And it really does work very well if you drain off some of the juice and get it, and it's all nicely shredded up, and you can just poke it into the little holes and just leave it there to fester. And I liked that one, because also I'd had a couple of sauerkraut ones that hadn't quite gone to plan before that. I was very pleased that pulled off so nicely, and it was such perfect timing that you were really ill as well.
Yeah, genuinely
If you'd have just
ill.
wanted a Fisherman's Friend on a normal time, it wouldn't have been nearly as annoying. So.
Yeah, they're waking up at 2 a.m, needing a Fisherman's Friend. Yeah. It was beautifully delivered. Yeah,
wonderful execution.
Yeah, a well won point.
Yes. Cabbage.
What next?
I think the next one is actually quite a recent one that I did, involving the wondrous invention that is a Sharpie. Yes.
Yes, this one definitely left its mark.
It did. So my dad has a bed, and on that bed is a sheet.
Yes, I'm quite conventional like that.
Yeah. And I just thought, what a wonderful canvas. What a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for some artwork. So, inspired by our theme tune, we will do an episode about that and how that came about. You've been cabbaged, motherfucker, is quite a catchphrase for us now.
Yeah.
So I had these 3 green Sharpies in my room from a previous cabbage thing, so I had them up there anyway, and it was just sort of the evening, and I just, on the spur of the moment, was like, oh, that'll be great. And I just went and I sort of got all 3 pens and just did it really messy on the sheets, and then drew a little cabbage at the bottom with motherfucker written across it.
I'm not sure that cabbage is so little. I think in the scheme of things, it's a massive, huge cabbage.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a double sheet. It fills it, so it's nicely sized.
Yeah, it kind of really stands out, doesn't it?
It does.
And then as I came up to bed, you were sort of bouncing around like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, because often you have to be really secretive about pranks, and you have to be really careful, because if you give the game away too soon, then you don't get a point. But this, I knew I was getting a point for it, no matter what, because it's Sharpie.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you want to carry on?
Well, there's not a huge amount more to say, except that you were bouncing about like Tigger, going, ooh, Sharpies are wonderful things, aren't they? They really are wonderful, wonderful inventions. Oh, permanent markers. They fill me with so much joy.
Oh, yeah. I love how the pigment never leaves.
Yeah. Yeah. Just as I was sort of doing my teeth and thinking, what has been Sharpied? So yes, that was another beautiful bedroom point.
Yeah, and it's still there, isn't it? You've still got that sheet on your bed.
Yeah, I quite like it if I'm honest. But
Cabbage! The next one I really rather did like. Recently, while my dad was away, we bought a lot of cabbages for something we had planned to do as a prank, and then that changed to a way better thing, which we will talk about in a future episode. So we had about 20 odd cabbages left and available to me, and I thought, oh, I know what I can do with these. I can get all of my dad's clothes, and I mean all of them.
Yeah, you do mean all of them.
I do mean all of them. And I can mix them all up in some bags, and I can put cabbages in the drawers.
Well, you can not just mix them all up in some bags, but also then take those bags elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Hide them in the loft.
And then replace everything in all of my clothes drawers with cabbage.
Yes. I even stuck little, because you know when they have stickers on the cabbage for the barcode, I stuck all of them on the corresponding red cabbage, white cabbage.
Yeah.
Because then you knew which cabbages were in your drawers.
Yeah, that was quite a nice touch.
Yeah. And they looked so at home there, didn't they? Because also my dad has like apple crates for clothes drawers.
Yeah.
And they really, you could have been a little greengrocer.
I could.
You could have been. So that one... That one was rather good. We
were sort of mini cabbage greengrocer for a while after that, because we had to try and give away some of this enormous amount of cabbage that you'd bought to neighbours. And
they did go mostly. I think we had 3 that went mouldy or something.
Yes.
But that's not bad considering.
Yeah.
Cabbage! Let's dig into the promised fail before we get to the ultimate bedroom one, I think.
Okay, that seems fair.
So the fail was, and I enjoyed doing this, you were asleep, having a nap. You like your naps.
I like me naps.
And I thought, I'll go and throw a cabbage at his head. So I did. I threw an entire red cabbage. I don't think it actually hit you, did it?
Yes, it did in fact slam into the side of my head at full speed, an entire red cabbage. Thank you, Poppy. In fact, I don't think that your thought was, I'll throw it at his head. I thought your thinking was probably, I'll throw it at him.
No, it was on.
Oh, was it? Okay. And you would probably be the first to admit that sometimes your aim is somewhat creative when it comes to projectiles, right?
Yeah.
You're not what you describe as a cabbage throwing ninja.
No.
No? On this occasion, you were like William fucking Tell, weren't you?
Who's that?
Who? What? Apple on the head, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Or is that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
I don't know. Feel free to let us know.
William Tell was apple on the head, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Anyway, this was definitely cabbage on the head for this guy.
Yeah.
And those red cabbages, they're dense.
They're bulky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're usually about 1 kilogram.
Yeah. So I was awoken from a nap to have you charging in through the door, brandishing this missile, which you then hurled,
Yeah.
which hit me full in the temple, which was genuinely painful,
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
So I did not award you a point for
Yeah.
that.
Which is fair enough.
Because I think if we went down that road,
Yeah.
it could get very, very brutal very, very
quickly.
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a fail, but probably a satisfying fail for you.
A satisfying fail. It was worth it for me. I like throwing things at you.
Yeah.
I like it even more when I actually hit you with those things. And even better if that thing happens to be a cabbage. Cabbage! So, the last one. It was wonderful, but it was also a sad, sad time.
I mean, this was an epic fail.
Well, yes, but it was also a success before it was a fail.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Because, you know,
dig in.
they're on the edge of their seats.
They really are.
They really are. Basically, I had a friend over for a sleepover. And me and this friend, we were very into the cabbaging thing. We would talk about it a lot. And I had a very, very, very good idea, which included a Bluetooth speaker and the Cabbage Patch Kids theme tune, which if you hadn't heard it, go and check it out. It's a piece of art. And you will hate it after listening to it once.
Yes.
Probably not even that. So I set up our Bluetooth speaker in my dad's wardrobe, which helpfully for me has a key. And I locked the wardrobe, and when he went to bed, I got a piece of wood and wedged it under the door handle, which was your trick from an April Fool's years ago. Otherwise I wouldn't have thought of that. So he couldn't get out, and I turned on the Bluetooth speaker from my phone, and I proceeded to play that on loop while you were trying to go to sleep.
Yes, and I could tell that you were completely committed.
Oh, yeah.
And that you'd worked each other up into an absolute frenzy of excitement.
At that moment, it was the best day of my life.
Yeah, and that you'd kind of made each other swear that whatever happens, there will be no let up.
There will be no mercy.
Yeah.
This will stay for the entire night. It will be like a torture chamber. He will not win.
And so there I am in this room listening to "In a Cabbage Patch Garden, all in a row, something cabbages in it," or whatever.
Yeah.
Then something occurred to me that actually that room has got a little window that goes out onto a flat roof.
Which also, the worst thing here, I thought about locking that window. Genuinely. When I was getting everything ready, I was like, ooh, maybe I should lock that. Nah, he won't fit through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did.
You did. You're more nimble than you look.
Yeah. And even easier, I happened to have a ladder leant up against the flat roof that day.
Yeah.
So I literally squeezed my carcass out through the window, strolled down the ladder, and then tiptoed up the stairs, and you were both outside the door saying, "There's no point going all quiet in there and pretending you're going to sleep. We know you're in there. And I just came up behind you and went, who's in there? What's going on? And I have never seen two more furious teenagers than you two were at the realisation that I was not in the room and I was not being tormented and that you had, in fact, failed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing you'd already awarded me a point.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, I got a point for that.
Did you?
Of course I did. But the worst bit was, right, that wasn't even the worst bit because I still had my phone on me, right? And the Bluetooth speaker was still in your wardrobe and that was still the bed you were going to sleep in. So I could have kept on playing it. I mean, you would have had to sleep somewhere else, but that was, you know. But you blackmailed me into turning off the music by using my chronically ill mother as bait, saying, oh, it'll keep her up. She couldn't hear it at all. She was fine. I deliberately made it quiet enough so that she couldn't hear it, but you could. But you made me believe that I had to turn it off for the greater good.
Yeah.
And I am still angry about that.
The greater good. It's such a good thing though, isn't it? The greater good?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like, you know how we like films that are so bad they're good?
Oh, yes.
I think the greater good is so good it's bad.
Oh! Not so bad it's good, but so good it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much goodness is bad. But yeah, that is the killer blow, really, isn't it? It was.
Yeah.
You were threatening as well to end it all before you'd even climbed out the window. Not like commit suicide, but you were threatening to surrender, weren't you?
Well, I think
if would be the end of the cabbaging.
If I couldn't have got out of the window, I would have begged for mercy and tried to surrender.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't.
No.
I think I wouldn't have done it. I think if I was still outside and I had my friend there hyping me up.
No, I think you were like, whatever he says, he is going to have that all night.
Yeah.
And tough fucking titty. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for episode 3, doesn't it?
I think it does, yeah.
I don't think we've planned an amazing cliffhanger this time, have we?
We don't have a cliffhanger for you. It's a tragedy.
The hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listeners out there are going to be so sad.
I know.
Not to have some daft noises.
Oh.
But maybe we could get them to suggest.
Yeah.
If you have any particular requests.
Yeah, go on, listeners.
For stupid things you'd like us to end an episode off with.
Yeah, I think dedicated cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Will be a good thing.
We will try to oblige.
Yeah.
But yes, what have we talked about today? We've talked about cabbage to the head.
Oh, wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff.
Graffitiing my bed sheets.
Yep. Is that sheet still on?
Yeah, well, I have washed it, but yeah, I quite like that. Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks. Stealing all my clothes and replacing them with cabbage.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
And possibly the biggest cabbage fail that we've ever had.
Yeah, I think.
Although that is debatable.
That's debatable now.
I think it's the biggest cabbage fail you've ever had.
It's the biggest cabbage fail I've ever had, and I think his cabbage fail is such a massive fail it probably won't even get onto it.
It's too controversial.
It was so bad.
We shall never speak of it again.
Yeah, he needs no encouragement that was a good thing to be doing.
And on that very enigmatic,
I know,
mysterious note,
yeah,
we shall say,
Nimrod.
You're leaving it at Nimrod.
I think so.
Nimrod.